It's raining again, so you're going to have to put up the rain noise while I'm filming the video. I'm just going to show you quickly how I've run the cable, because this might be of interest to a lot of other people. I've got a light here. So this is the cable that's going to charge the auxiliary batteries, and it goes to the DC-DC converter. So that's the end of it. That's just going to connect to the batteries. It's got a big fuse there, a big 40 amp I think, or 30 amp fuse, which is right there. And the cable goes through the hole. It runs along the bottom there, along the factory wiring. So that's the way we've done it. There's a rubber grommet right there that feeds into the airbox compartment, which is over there. And then there's another rubber grommet there that goes into the cavity of the van. So we've run the cable through that, and the cable comes out there, and obviously we're going to have to cut it shorter, and it will then connect to the DC-DC charger, which is sitting over there. And the rest of the cable will then be connected to here, and it will run down there, and it will also connect to the DC-DC charger for the solar. So this is the power cable that's going to feed the DC-DC converter to charge the auxiliary batteries, and the rest of the cable is going to be used to run the solar blanket, which plugs in there, to also run to the DC-DC converter, which will then charge both the 100 amp hour lithium batteries that will be sitting there. Here we are. I have put that panel back temporarily just so I can line everything up and sort everything out. I've drilled the hole there, and the cables are coming through the hole, as you can see. Now, this shorter cable here, that one there, goes to the batteries. That will be the cable that charges the batteries, the auxiliary batteries. And this longer cable here is for the solar. So this will plug into the solar panel, or the solar panel will plug into this once I put a connector on there. And that will also be able to then charge the batteries via that shorter cable. That shorter cable comes from the charger, which gets its power from the actual alternator of the car when it's running, and that's the cable I showed you earlier that we ran from the battery, and that will then be able to charge the batteries while the car's driving. And when I'm parked, I can use this cable here to charge the batteries with my solar blanket, which will plug in there, because that's where the cable will be run. It'll run along there, and to there, and you won't see any of that because the bed frame and battery box will be sitting there. And this cable here also comes from the DC-DC charger there, or converter there, and this goes to the negative of the battery, and it monitors the temperature of the batteries. That's what that cable's for. And I'll just show you the back of that panel now, just so you can see what's going on. And if you're doing this job yourself, you know how to wire everything up. So let's bring this panel forward so we can have a look behind it. Now here's the connections for everything. This is the cable that goes to the solar charger. This cable here is the one that goes to the batteries, the short one that you just saw a second ago. And this cable here is the one that we've run from the original battery through the engine bay that I showed you earlier, and that just plugs into the converter there. And this is the power supply cable that feeds power from the alternator to the charger. So that's it. It's pretty simple. I mean, it might seem complicated, but it's not actually that difficult. And all this is also explained in the instructions of the DC-DC converter, charger, whatever you want to call it. I am ready to put the bull bar back on. I had to actually pull these lights back off because I forgot to run the wiring for the UHF radio antenna, which goes into the van behind the headlight here. So that's the cable for it there, and I've just wrapped it up so it doesn't get scratched. That's the base for the UHF antenna that will be mounted on the bull bar here. So that's all ready to go. And the other thing I forgot about was the temperature sensor for the pod gauges, which is right there, and that's the wiring for it. And again, that runs alongside the headlight wiring and goes inside the van. So I had actually forgotten about these and that one, and I literally remembered about them while I was in bed last night trying to fall asleep, thinking about this. And this morning I've gotten out and I've run that and I've run that, which meant I had to take these off again, which was a bit of a pain, but anyway, it's done. And this here is the wiring for the central locking. It goes into the door and it also follows the headlight wiring to the inside of the van. And there's a grommet just here somewhere behind the headlight where all the wiring runs outside for all this sort of stuff. Now, just to finish off the video, I'll show you what progress has been done in here. I have now installed the 2 batteries, because I got the other battery on special as well for $369. The power inverter is connected to that power point there, and those batteries are now connected to the DC-DC charger via those cables that I showed you earlier, and they're linked together there. So I can easily be running my fridge plus charging my drones, cameras, phones, laptops, anything else you might want to charge or run. And I've got the 240 volt outlet there for anything that needs 240 volt. I've also started on the floor here, so I've cut this piece and put that in there. And I'm actually charging up my batteries at the moment via the solar blanket that's out here. There you go. It's just getting a little bit of sun and it is charging the battery. Now let's cover it all up. And here we go, another job done. The bull bar's all fitted up. The headlights and driving lights and light bar are all wired up, and I can show you them working in a second. And that's it. I'm very happy with that. I've fitted the antenna for the UHF and everything works. I'll show you that now. There's the parking lights. They're just Nava LED parking lights. And there's the dog. There's the headlights with Nava LED headlight inserts. There's the high beam. And let's flick the driving lights on. That's full lighting power right there. Now you probably noticed the camera adjusted for the lights. That's just what it does. There you go. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos from Mike's Man Cave. Thanks for watching and bye for now.